I had a rebirth recently. The thing is, I don't think you can fully see it, or I don't think you actually fully know like how powerful of like a rebirth this is. You maybe feel like you're slowing down, or you maybe feel like you need to slow down, or it's giving me the energy of like there's a lot of unknown, or this was a huge switch up, or there's a huge transition or change up where you almost kind of have to slow down. But because of this, with this unicorn card, it's like it's the card of like the unknown, right? Because it looks maybe a lot different than you pictured things going, or maybe it just doesn't align with like how you imagined your life would be right now. It's kind of showing up like that's maybe something that's worrying you, but this is kind of supposed to challenge you for a reason. Also, this wheel card and the unicorn, it's giving like super sparkly space princess, like kind of floating around here in the ethers. And you might feel kind of isolated. You might feel alone. And you might also feel like you're not really tethered to anything here. So you're just kind of slowly floating out in space. The thing about that, it's like that can feel pretty isolating. That can feel like we're in a vacuum. It can feel like we're just kind of at the mercy of something coming by and showing us what speed we're actually going. And that's, you know, that's something where like you're not going to be able to really see what this looks like unless it's like relative to something else, or you could have been used to comparing yourself. Or it could be that when you're out here in the ethers and you're trying to figure out what this is, who you are, what this rebirth is, how this looks, it's something where I think that you might have kind of been placed in the period that you're being placed in, because maybe you're being reborn again from having to like compare yourself. And I think that when you have no one to compare yourself to, you really have to get to know yourself. So the whale card and the unicorn with the phoenix here and the panther, this is reminding me of like a Ferrari. Also, the whale, this guy goes slow, right? Slowly moving through the waters. It's not a killer whale. It's just out there. This card is also about like divine feminine patience and compassion, reliable, like stable, steady energy that is known for that reliability in terms of that compassion. But because this whale card goes so slow, and this is reminding me of a Ferrari. It's reminding me of what somebody told me when I was in marching band in high school, and we like, when we were doing like drill, or we were practicing, we looked really good as a unit when we were going fast. And so you might kind of have associated your progress or your success with the rate at which you succeed. So like the speed, right? This marching instructor used to tell us, like, I think he said a Lamborghini, but this is reminding me of a Ferrari. Like a Ferrari is still a Ferrari, whether it's going fast or it's going slow. So you may not know that you're a Ferrari, or a Lamborghini, I guess. But I think it's because you don't really have anything to compare yourself to, or you're being put in a place where when you compare yourself, it makes you feel very alone. I don't even think you've fully seen this transition. I don't think you fully understand this rebirth that you've had. This Panther card, this is unexpected. And what's interesting is I also don't think that you see like how intimidating your energy is. Not in a scary way or like a fierce way, but with the unicorn and the whale, it's like the level of compassion, the level of like divine feminine essence that you exude. It's so safe and it's so beautiful and it's so one of a kind that can be very intimidating. And so you may feel like that is even more isolating. And I feel like this is, I want to say, part of your path, especially with the Phoenix card. It may feel like it's karma, right? It kind of feels like a curse sometimes. Especially when you're first starting out in something, like this Earthworm card talks about new beginnings. So you could be feeling like, one, you're being put at a place where you're in a humble beginning right now. Two, you could be feeling kind of isolated. Three, I don't think you understand how unique you are, how special you are, and how I think right now you just see the challenge that's kind of being put in front of you. And I think if anything, it kind of seems like this is one where you're not being asked to conquer it, you're just being asked to flow with it, right? Like embrace the slow, embrace the speed at which you are being like allowed to go right now. This is really beautiful energy. The unicorn card is so cute. Always reminds me of sparkles and glitter. You're probably not feeling like sparkles or glitter. I also feel like this Panther card, part of this situation of this transition could be kind of scary for you, because with the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, you may be concerned about like your well-being, or you could be concerned about the High Priestess in reverse. You may have had like the security net in the past of understanding that things were very consistent for you. You were able to rely on this energy of like being able to kind of see everything right in front of you, right? This Queen of Pentacles, then we have the Tower. You might also be having to kind of rework something here. And I feel like if anything, that's something you've been going through for a while. You took a hit recently, and now I feel like you are being put in a place where there's something here in your life. It could be financial well-being, which has been a theme lately in a lot of my readings. Your financial well-being, your like physical certainty of the circumstances around you. So like where you live, it could be job changes. That's something where I think it's shaken you up. And it's not that it's shaken you up just because you're used to comfortability, but this Queen of Pentacles, it's part like you worked for this. I also feel like it's reminding me of something that I saw recently on my TikTok For You page, which is like the idea that sometimes God gives you this huge abundance, like when you're young or when you're first starting out, and you get to see what it's like to soar, right? You get to see what it's like to go fast in that Ferrari, and you get used to that pace, but you can't always go that speed. So you're gonna get like your Jenga tower is gonna be knocked down, and it's part of the process, but it's scary and it's different and it's new. Yeah, your Ferrari it was stopped, right? The Chariot in reverse. If anything, it seems like the hardest part about this is feeling isolated, the Knight of Wands in reverse, and feeling like you, I want to say like lost your drive, but I don't even think that's the case. I feel like you aren't able to find your drive, but you want it. It's like you have determination to be determined again, but like, what is this setting you up for? We have the Two of Cups. Well, if you were used to being able to successfully do it all on your own and conquer, and like you really didn't need a right-hand man, it's going to be hard to be with the right-hand man that you're supposed to have in your life if you don't need any help, if you don't need someone to come and tether you back from space, which is kind of cute. It's reminding me of that. I think it's Interstellar. There was another space movie that came out like the same year that was about somebody getting like untethered to their spaceship here. The Three of Cups and the Magician in reverse. I also think that you could think that there are some people that are trying to pull you down, or that somebody else is doing this. I think that you're maybe positioned to look like that, or for it to feel like that, or for it to look like that. But I don't actually think that's the case. I'm going to do part 2.